Welcome to practice. Today's morning yoga stretch sequence is an opportunity for you to ground into yourself, to take a moment of just quiet time before you run off into your day. Think of this practice as your morning coffee or your morning tea. Thank you for joining me on this journey of mastering our relaxation. This is your practice, so if any of the poses done today do not fit or work for your body, you can always skip them or modify them. I will be using a yoga blanket in today's practice, but feel free to grab any yoga blocks or bolsters or any other support for yourself if needed. Remember, the body is the guru. Honor and listen to it. Let's start practice by grabbing our yoga blanket and opening it out wide. Take the corners of one end and then match it and bring it together with the corners of the opposite end of your yoga blanket. And then do the same thing again, folding it in half, making a long, wide rectangle shape. And then fold your yoga blanket again, the long way, bringing both ends together to make a nice little small square. And then we're going to roll our yoga blanket into a nice thick log. If you don't have a yoga blanket, you could always use a towel or some other medium-sized blanket. Take a seat with your rolled up yoga blanket right behind you. We're going to move into reclined butterfly and use our yoga blanket as a support. So do any shifting and moving around and make sure that the yoga blanket is right at the mid-back to lower ribs, helping you to open your heart. And then bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees out wide. And because this may be the first movement or the first postures that you're doing in your day, feel free to place pillows or yoga blocks under the knees if needed. And you decide where to place the arms. I like to cactus my arms up overhead to make sure that I'm getting maximum space in my chest, getting a nice chest opener. And begin to relax your back, your lower back, the hips. Make sure you're not holding your knees up and that they're fully relaxed. Soften the muscles of the face and any muscles that are not being used in this pose. This is a nice time and opportunity to set an intention for your day. And your intention can be one word that's empowering or uplifting, or it could be a phrase, something that's going to anchor you into this practice and something that you can use throughout the day to help you keep going. Begin to slow down your breathing. Scan the body from your head to your toes. Just feeling the state of the body after sleep. We can feel really stiff and stuffy after being in one position or being in a horizontal position all night. So scanning the body, feeling the sensations. When we do this, we build a relationship with our body. To release, we're going to bring the knees back together, roll off to one side, set the yoga blanket or whatever prop you were using off to the side. Bring your feet as wide as the mat. And then we're going to start with some knee drops, dropping the knees off to one side. Inhaling, bringing them through center and dropping them over to the opposite side. Bringing movement into the hip joints, but also getting a nice gentle spinal twist at the same time. We'll bring the legs back to center and release, and stretch your body long like a pencil. Point your toes, send your arms up overhead. Imagine that somebody's pulling your arms and your legs away from one another, lengthening the spine. We're going to release and draw the left knee in towards the chest. You can keep the right leg long and straight on the ground, or you can bend the right knee and bring the right sole of the foot onto the ground. And don't put pressure on yourself to move into the deepest expression of the poses today. It's the morning, so the body might be stiff and tight. And that's okay. We're just gently, with patience, opening up the body and releasing the body for our day. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and they're not doing too much work pulling the left knee in. We're going to move into a spinal twist, shift onto the right hip and send the left knee over to the right. The arms can come out into a T. You can cactus your arms. Do what works for you. Check to make sure that the left upper body and the left shoulder are plugged into the ground. Inhale, release back to center. And take the left leg straight up. Left sole of the foot points towards the sky. And grab a hold of either behind the thigh or the calf. See what works for you. I'm going to keep a deep bend in the left knee because my hamstrings are tight, and you can point and flex the toes. And then we're going to release and move over to the opposite side. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Release the lower back. Soften the upper body and the muscles of the face. And then shift onto the left hip, sending the right knee over towards the left, coming into your spinal twist. Whatever variation you take with your arms, just make sure that both shoulders are plugged into the ground so you're getting the most out of your spinal twist. Take an inhale to come back to center, back onto your back, and take the right leg up now for your hamstring stretch. Start off with a bent knee, just checking where the hamstring is, and point and flex the toes, stretching the calves, the hamstrings, and the buttocks. And then as you breathe, you may gradually begin to straighten the leg and bring it closer towards the face, but don't feel like you have to. See where your hamstrings are today. Release the right leg and draw both knees in towards the chest, coming into wind-relieving pose. And it may feel good to rock from side to side, massaging the spine, the lower back, the top of the buttocks. And stay here in Apanasana, wind-relieving pose, or grab the outer edges of the feet, opening up into happy baby pose. This is a great posture to do, especially if you're expecting to do a lot of sitting. So for my desk workers or remote workers, if you know that you're about to sit for long periods of time, happy baby pose is a great full body release. And you may want to just hold it in happy baby pose, or you could start to incorporate this hamstring stretch by alternating between lengthening the legs, getting deeper into the hamstrings. We're going to release and roll over to one side or rock your way up into a seated pose, coming into Sukhasana. I'm going to sit up on a blanket. Sitting up on a blanket or a block or a bolster brings the hips up higher than the knees, helping to keep the spine straight and aligned. We're going to take a neck stretch. Bring the left ear towards the left shoulder. And depending on where the neck is today, you may want to place the left hand on the side of the head, moving deeper, and then stretch your right arm out towards the right with the palm facing down. Stay here or revolve the arm, face the palm up, and then take the back of the right hand to the lower back, stretching deeper into the right side of the neck, the shoulder. Make sure you're relaxing your shoulders down. We're going to release and move to the opposite side. Find the variation that works for you. When you place your hand on the side of the head, make sure you're not tugging or pulling. You're working with gravity. You're being gentle. And if you want to move a little bit deeper, stretch the left arm out to the left. Flip the palm to face up and see the difference in sensation. See how this changes the stretch. And to move deeper and take a half bind, bring the back of the left hand to the lower back. Make sure to push the shoulders back and down as you sit up tall. Release the hands and arms, bring the head back to center. Let's move further into the neck. Drop your chin towards your chest, and then take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Take an inhale, bring the chin towards the chest, and exhale, right ear towards the right shoulder. Let's do this again. As you inhale, chin towards the chest. Exhale, left ear to the left shoulder. And continue to move the head back and forth in these half circle rotations. We're going to release and bring the head back to center. Take the left hand to the ground across from the left hip. Take the right arm up, overhead, stretching, pointing the right fingertips over to the left. Sit up tall, relax the shoulders down, and make sure that your hips are relaxed also. And you can always hold it here or move through these arm rotations with me. Drop the arm down, take it over to the right, and then bring it back up overhead. We're bringing blood flow and lubrication to the right shoulder. Just hold it in the side stretch over to the left. And drop your left ear to the left shoulder, and then drop the right arm towards the floor, and then gently slide all the way up. Let's move over to the opposite side. Right hand is grounded and planted into the ground. Stretch the left arm up overhead. Relax the left knee down. Feel the side body stretch all the way from the hip to the underarm. If you took the arm rotations on the other side, you'll take them here. When the arm comes back around and up, make sure you push that left shoulder back, really opening the chest forward. And then hold the stretch over towards the right. And then gently drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Release the left arm, left fingertips come down towards the ground. And gently slide all the way back up to center. Let's move a little bit into the upper body with some Sufi rolls. Keep the hips planted and grounded as much as you can as you take your ribs and upper body into circular motions in one direction. Really try to isolate the rotations just to the upper body. And then you'll pause and start to reverse and take the rotations in the opposite direction. You can make the circles as big or as small as you would like. We're going to release back to center and move through some seated cat-cows. As you inhale, pull on the knees, send the chest forward and the tailbone back. And as you exhale, round through the upper back as you send your belly button towards the spine. Link your breath and your movement and move through a few more seated cat-cows. And take your time, move at your own pace. We'll release. Stay seated. Before you leave the mat and the space and go start your day, just take a moment to scan through the body. Sit with your breath. The present moment is all that matters right now. I know that we have a whole day ahead of us. But can this moment right here be the only thing that is important, the only thing that matters right now? Feel free to take some nice deep inhalations and some releasing exhalations out of the mouth. And you can use this moment to remind yourself of your intention for the day. repeating it quietly to yourself. To end practice, I would like to share an inspiring and empowering quote from Maya Angelou. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Take an inhale and sweep your arms out, around, and up. The palms touch overhead. Slide the palms through center and land at your forehead as a reminder to absorb our thoughts and inner voice. They create our reality. Palms to the lips as a reminder to watch our speech and words. They are energy. And palms to the heart center as a reminder that peace begins with me. Thank you for joining me for this morning practice. Peace and ease to you. Have a nice day.